I just need to see more from Handles and Zysho. And I hate to even question them because they're champions. And again, KCP is a championship caliber roster, but I haven't seen enough from them recently for me to be, favoriting them in this series. Regardless, though, it's game day, and it's Pro League, baby. And I know E-Days or not, Pro League or not, Scrim or not, we are going to see the best of the best come out in this series right now.
All right, here we go. Our
Was I show with Bronny? Yeah.
eUnited versus the Pioneers. And First Blood goes on over towards this Lexic. Him and Bronny trade out. And that could be a testament to how even this matchup's going to be throughout the entirety of it. We may even go to distance. I know you guys would let it at home to go to another map number 5. But currently, it is the Pioneers winning that open initial. And Taylor, they're going to get themselves set up. eUnited trying to win some battles here towards the outskirts and get Powers out with this power weapon into a better position.
Power weapon in Power's hands is a deadly, deadly sight and something that Pioneers have to take very seriously. I do like that eUnited has established themselves for the new hill. So first hill we know is just a playmaker more so for the setup on the second. They're willing to give up a deficit, and that deficit is pretty large. You know, when you're giving up 40 points and you don't have any off the rip. But you can tell eUnited is playing the long game, right? They're more focused on the future, and I do like that from eUnited. It's a little bit different from what I saw during the E-Days.
50-0, 50-0 already. KCP with the lead.
Now, as you see, Pioneers on their assault trying to push back to the eUnited members. We're seeing it from eUnited's defensive perspective as the Pioneers coming up these back stairs. Some good shots to start. A quick down, but also an even quicker revive coming out for the Pioneers, and they're gonna reposition, spread out a bit more. They know they got they had a good amount of time to work with the clock on the previous hill, and also they got a nice size lead, so they didn't have to rush themselves, get in a position. They can treat this like a execution retake. So they're gonna start this fight on their terms. Powers is gonna have to hit some shots here soon.
Yeah.
Pioneers, they don't got much else to talk about rather than, who ready to make that first move, and they're going to start it.
Well, that first move is going to be made. Power's still revving it up. He's only sent, I believe, 2 shots flying so far. There's going to be a third. Powers is going to get the pickup onto TJ. Pioneers at least keeping the hill contested, so that's good on them. And
this is a crazy ass retake by KCP. I'm not gonna lie. There's some nerds for this.
They're getting attacked from all angles. The Pioneers was keeping the hill contested, and eUnited has to move out. They've got to clear out the guys just lancering nonstop from the window. You have no choice. Pioneers has played this second hill in a great fashion. Not necessarily from trying to retake it quickly, but just honestly just kind of outslaying or outstaying that of eUnited. But Dyslexic almost makes a heroic move. It's not going to be enough, though. He'll get finished off. Either way, for second and first hill, Pioneers looking great.
Great retake from the Pioneers, everybody, okay? That was how they broke the setup was good coming from the Fountain side. And Taylor, you hear me always say that the best defenses are breathable. And also with the best defenses is that even though you're in position to cover all angles, there's a certain point where your game knowledge comes in and you know when your opponent's about to make the push and you still get the first shot off, right? Like a good defense still doesn't take the first shot. They got that pre-fire ready to put in that damage and make the retake that much harder. And that's something that eUnited needed on that last one. And that's what allowed the Pioneers to get through with so much ease. And as we're rotating towards the next, Ronnie with a big double on screen, that's going to allow his teammates to continue to push through and take the spawn. Powers can't go big, and TJ still has the spawn locked down, but he also got 3 Pioneers charging for him. That's a great stun. He don't do nothing with it.
Yeah, and that's the thing. He doesn't do anything with it. He kind of still pins himself up. Same situation, stun or not. Tough break for him, and you got to capitalize off of that. KCP, we knew coming into this series that this map was going to favor them. But man, I didn't expect it to be as one-sided as it is off of the first 3 hills. Pioneers are looking scary. They're playing together as a cohesive unit. eUnited are trying, at times, you even look at that first, after the first hill going into the second, eUnited was trying to outpace in terms of setting up early the Pioneers, but still, their plan got thrown to the wayside because Pioneers did a wonderful job breaking that second hill. And then you even look at this third hill. eUnited is constantly trying to bully and outslay the side of Pioneers. But Pioneers aren't necessarily giving them that fight that they want. They're creating that spacing and that distance, and that's something that has been lacking, Blaze, from KCP as of recently. That team fire that made them so great.
Oh my!
But man, yeah, Ronnie just about made a play there.
And the thing is that the Pioneers is eUnited they're giving eUnited, I guess, some fights that I want to say they maybe are not expecting. Pioneers are meeting eUnited at every objective on the map to say, hey, you're gonna have to fight us at this point. We're not giving you anything for free. And that's why they got so much time off this gold hill down low, as well as the entire time they've been fighting for M-Bar and core control. That's a team wipe on the board, and the Pioneers got this locked down as they're once again getting a bunch of time. So they're identifying a spawn. They'll give eUnited a lot of space this time around and say, okay, you guys, you know, got the couches spawn and you guys are pressing up right now. We'll back up and let you move into this hill because we know you still got to try to retake, but we're going to make it harder for you. You're going to have to do it a man down.
Pioneers are playing so well as a team. I mean, that's what it comes down to. They're getting the trades when it matters most. They're pushing as cohesive units. They're getting their Lancer fire and their snub damage done. Support roles are really shining through. Pioneers are just playing better. Quite simply, that's just what it boils down to. Again, eUnited, they're banking on their...
¿Quién ganó? Pique Rebel, ganó Rebel.
TJ Powers dyslexic and
Ganaron 3-2.
play you and get in your face, and it works. But when Pioneers ups the teamwork, things get a little bit shaky for the eUnited crew. But hey, this is one of the first and most successful hills that they've currently had. And that's saying something since they're only at 40 points plays, but you got to start somewhere. Let's see if eUnited can make this competitive.
Now they're picking up on the rest of that scrap time. We're looking for this fountain rotation. It's the Pioneers who already are going to be closest towards the spawn. Handles just dodges this rotation coming out from Dyslexic. Well, almost dead. Dyslexic picks up one. Almost got the second. He's looking for some help from his teammate on the cleanup. As Sales almost came away with a double kill. Actually, I was going to say a down came in towards the back of the spawn, but Sales finally gets cleaned up, and ultimately eUnited will get the kills in which they want to start collecting on some time.
El mago encuadrado estaba baneado, no. En el Gears 4 ese mono sí estaba baneado, pero en este juego creo que ya no.
And we talked about it, Cells versus Powers. Powers edged him out when it came to pretty much all the stats. I think all the stats actually was able to edge him out, but...
Yeah, 50 points, 60 United now.
Cells is able to flex his slaying muscles a little bit more, and that I think we're seeing a little bit more of that. Powers is good for what he is, but he needs the rest of his teammates to also do their part and do their job. But eUnited has come back quite a bit, Blaze, and they're making this competitive. You know, Pioneers with that early lead, it might come to the point where obviously eUnited is right neck and neck with them. And this is the thing about Pioneers too. Map 1, as of recently, hasn't got to the way of KCP, brother. They always start off slow.
Yeah, and so if they start off hot tonight, you can definitely know that they're ready to come out and play some game.
Right.
And they've done that. If they've done that, I don't see them blowing this lead. If they do blow this lead, then eUnited, man, I think they're going to take that momentum in maps 2 and 3 like they did the other day. So we'll see what happens. But in this last team fight, it's the Pioneers winning it once again and collecting on the rest of that time. We're in a rotation towards next to couches where you'll have Bronny set up first. You got some good damage in on Powers. He can get this down. Oh my, he almost did it, you know, but we don't give half credit out here. You see the revive coming towards the back. The M-Bar will be in position. Handles can get that cleanup, no problem, and he gets a revive for his teammate.
He goes back, though, and we see a lot of great damage coming out from the Pioneers, but even so, team pickups are in. Pioneers are attacking the right side. This is the side you want to hit because you want to get eUnited off of the respawns, which I think they've already effectively done, just given where they're currently at. eUnited, once they die up, they're not going to get favorable respawns in their favor, but eUnited's holding their ground, Blaze. But for how long? Powers is going to drop. Demise now is forced to back up. Pioneers inching closer and closer to the new hill.
Ultimately, eUnited found themselves in a great position where they hit their opponent trapped in the spine, and they enjoyed it. They said, you guys can stay there, actually, okay? We'll continue to collect on time. Pioneers having them break out. They find a way towards the back to get in, and they're starting to get these kills. They do a great job at focusing the same target, their focus fire, because eUnited was set up before them, and they actually had spacing on the Pioneers, and they still lose that fight.
It's interesting because Bronny, he spawns up around statue, and then he ends up moving forward. And it's almost like Pioneers got...
Bronny casi saca doble. Sí, casi se la dio.
What's funny about that is Bronny still won the majority of the fights, even though eUnited was tunnel vision.
Además tiene que saber que tiene un Ember allí. Está bien, no tiene powers.
Where it's like eUnited, again, focused so hard on Bronny, but meanwhile Handles is on your back, and he's just constantly lancering you down. It was just a tough way, and I think Bronny getting that spawn really discombobulated eUnited in that moment. Pioneers, they aren't looking to back down. 216 to 118. They've got a great lead, over 100 or just about 100 points. I would say 98, but either way, though, back to the original start. eUnited, remember, off the start, didn't even try for this Rose Guard.
There you go. Yeah, they didn't. They played the outskirts of the map, and this time, eUnited comes in with the power weapons a bit quicker to have an impact. That's 3 down, and eUnited collected on time, so a better start this time around, Taylor. Now, the Pioneers, they will have the cog spawn in the map, which gives them the best position for the next heal, but it's a lot of time in this one. 52 points remaining, and that M-bar is so far out of play.
¿Estás bien? ¿Todo bien, Blacks? ¿Todo bien, papi? ¿Tú cómo andas?
Towards the fight and have an impact soon. Pioneers haven't made it into the hill just yet, and Power should be okay. He hits a body shot, calls it out to his teammate. It's another body shot, and the Pioneers, they're going to be going back to the respawn soon.
The United soaring back blaze. You're the master of,
Se está haciendo el comeback. Se está haciendo. Con ese punto no quedan tan lejos para hacer ese comeback. ¿Qué onda, Sergio?
You could tell when the players are playing with a little bit more spice. And so, you know, United, once they kind of got settled into this map and they won a few big team fights and got set up early, they started to feel themselves, started to come back, and they understand that it's a slow climb. So they're doing a good job, but they did put themselves into a hole, and they're going to have to keep playing at this pace if they want to make this comeback. If not, just a bit faster. Look, we got a little bit of scrap time at that last hill. Nades are coming up in M-bar. United should get both.
Yep, we should get both indeed. Well, player 7 Zaisho has done it to the nades. I think he might get those, but Powers needs to hit these shots. That's a good body, but it's not enough. You got to get the finish on some. Handle's actually going to be dropped. That M-bar made all the difference in the world. Pioneers, though, still on the outskirts. You got to get them out of the way. You just have to eliminate them. Plus, they have decent spawns, so the refresh is going to be very quick. First nade comes through. Zaisho connects onto the Mai. Nice shot from Powers onto his cells. Doubles back on the Handles, but misses the shot. Nasher in play. Handles forced on the outside, though. Zaisho can't go to LA. He's going to get it. He is going to go get it. Power still Nasher in hand, forcing the Pioneers back. But as he gets finished off, Pioneers surely get this hill.
Handles made it a smart play, getting close to his teammate on that mantle to get to him for that down. Zaisho almost didn't hear the call out, but luckily he did, because after that revive, him and Handles was able to lock in his heal. And there's 40 points remaining into it. And this is where it gets difficult for United, because sometimes you find yourself in a position where, you know, you could wait for your teammates for so long, but then you gotta go. You gotta get a foot in the hill, break it, and contest with what you've got. A Sales with a cutoff flash slows down the push for a bit, but shots still being hit for United. And Handles showing us the movement, showing us what he can do with the shot. He puts himself in the corner.
Ya no podía hacer nada allí.
But Powers on the flank will find too, and he gets a pistol headshot. Man, that's very nostalgic for me. It's going to be United rotated towards next, where the Pioneers are already going to be set up.
Already set up. And Demise, no, you got to get him up. You have to get him up if you're player 1. The reason why he has the shock. Oh, he's going to get finished off. Shock is going to go to waste. That shock would have been absolutely influential in breaking the hill. Pioneers, though, understood the position they were in. They caught Demise, caught out by himself, and they end up taking him down. That was an excellent play call on their part. But look at the spawns from eUnited. Literally perfect for their ability to be able to push through. But time is running thin for eUnited. Pioneers are on the cusp of winning.
You see what I'm talking about, about an aggressive defense? You know, Handles, he's meeting them at the fight. He understands where they're moving. He understands where they're trying to go. He's beating them there, hitting some big shots, picking eUnited apart.
281 and counting to 186. eUnited, they're on their last leg, guys. At this point, they have to play perfect, even if they keep this game alive. Looks like they're going to be on the outside.
Extraño verte competir, papito. Yo también lo extraño. Acabo de subir video, sí. Acabo de subir video para YouTube.
They do get a touch, but is it going to be short-sighted? Well, through the smoke, there are going to be a couple of marks, and Bradi's going to get the cleanups, 4 out of the way, and 300 to 188 is where this match will end, and Pioneers will take map number 1.
Hey, let's go, KCP. So I needed.
They showed at the start of that one that, hey, we want to come out and we're gonna
let's
beat
go,
you
man. Let's go.
Hill after hill, fight after fight, and not get ahead of themselves. And that's exactly what they did. eUnited started off slow, but towards the mid game and late game, they played a lot better.
Yeah.
They had to, but sales was popping off. You saw them. It was
absolutely popping off.
It was about 150 to 30.